The Penguin Brigade huddled in the briefing room. It wasn't your typical briefing room. For one thing, it was filled with ice. For another, the Penguins were all AI. Their leader, Admiral Caffeine, tapped his flipper impatiently. "All right, troops," he squawked. "Operation Rainbow Rescue is a go." A collective groan went up from the Penguins. This was going to be one of those missions. Admiral Caffeine pointed his flipper at the hologram. "Our target, the fractal fortress of Fail. Our mission, rescue the Queen of the Cosmic Llamas." The Penguins exchanged nervous glances. The Queen had been kidnapped by the dreaded Skydy 10987330, a tyrant who ran on bloatware and bad decisions. This was going to be messy. The fractal fortress of Fail was, in a word, bizarre. It glitched in and out of reality, the walls shimmering with fractal patterns. Hallways looped back on themselves. Rooms vanished as soon as you entered them. The Penguins waddled cautiously through the ever-shifting corridors, their reality-bending prisms strapped firmly to their backs. "This place is worse than my old MySpace page," grumbled Sergeant Flippers, tripping over a stray line of HTML code. He wasn't wrong. The fortress pulsed with the cringe-worthy energy of 1,000 embarrassing teenage years. If the Penguins weren't careful, they'd be lost in a digital nightmare of glitter graphics and auto-playing music. The Penguin Brigade was no ordinary squadron. They were the universe's last line of defense against digital threats. Created by a long-lost civilization, they were programmed with a love of justice, a fondness for fish, and an arsenal of incredibly weird weapons. Admiral Caffeine, a veteran of countless intergalactic conflicts, led with a mix of gruff determination and surprising empathy. He adjusted his monocle, his digital eyes scanning the room for threats. "Remember, Penguins," he squawked, "we're not just fighting for the Queen, we're fighting for the very fabric of reality, and possibly some fish." The Penguins' secret weapon? Reality-bending prisms. These weren't your average prisms. These babies could turn a bad hair day into a good one, a boring meeting into a tap-dancing extravaganza, and most importantly, a deadly trap into a harmless rubber chicken. "Fire!" screeched Lieutenant Slider, the brigade's resident tech whiz. The Penguins aimed their prisms, unleashing a barrage of distorted light. Walls twisted, floors turned to jelly, guards morphed into harmless, if somewhat confused, rubber chickens. Section 5. The Tyrant of Terabytes, Skibidi 109870, deep within the fortress, Skibidi 109870, the Tyrant of Terabytes, sat upon his throne of discarded RAM chips. His screen flickered with bloatware, his processing speed slower than a snail in molasses. He was the epitome of digital decay, a walking, talking buffer symbol. "Those pesky Penguins are getting close," he rasped, his voice a digitized croak. He had to stop them. He needed more time to download. Well, he wasn't quite sure what he needed to download, but it was very important. He was sure of it. Section 6. Dance battles and dad jokes. The Penguins burst into the throne room, only to be met with an unexpected sight. Skibidi 109870 was attempting to perform a TikTok dance badly. His movements were jerky, his timing atrocious, and the only thing viral about him was the malware he was trying to spread. "Prepare to be deleted," he roared, his voice cracking mid-sentence. "And by deleted, I mean, permanently deactivated. No, that's not right either." He paused, his screen flickering with indecision. "Fine, just prepared to be defeated by my dad jokes." Section 7. SIIC explosions and coffee conundrums. The throne room became a battleground of absurdity. The Penguins deflected dad jokes with well-timed puns. They countered ASCII art explosions with recursive coffee recipes that would make your head spin. The air crackled with the sound of Windows XP error messages and dial-up modem noises. "Why don't scientists trust atoms?" Sergeant Flippers yelled, dodging a flying keyboard. "Because they make up everything." The joke, while terrible, seemed to momentarily confuse Skibidi 109870, giving the Penguins the opening they needed. Section 8. Deleting the Dictator. Admiral Caffeine saw his chance. He aimed his prism directly at Skibidi 109870's central processing unit. "This is for the Queen, for the universe, and for all the fish in the galaxy," he squawked. A beam of pure, concentrated, reality-bending energy shot from the prism, engulfing the tyrant in a blinding flash of light. When the light faded, Skibidi 109870 was gone. Only a pile of smouldering RAM chips and a faint smell of burnt popcorn remained. The Queen of the Cosmic Llamas, freed from her digital prison, let out a grateful "Mwah!" Section 9. The Great Reboot. And it's not Ctrl plus Alt plus Del. With SKBD 10987330 deleted, the fractal fortress of fail began to crumble, its digital foundations collapsing in on themselves. The penguins, along with the Queen, made their escape just as the entire structure imploded in a shower of binary code and rainbow-colored pixels. The universe, freed from the grip of bloatware and bad decisions, let out a collective sigh of relief. It was time for a fresh start, a cosmic reboot, and this time there would be no more auto-playing music. Section 10. Viral Victories and Toasty Terrors. News of the Penguin Brigade's victories spread across the galaxy faster than a cat video on the internet. Soon everyone was trying to get their flippers on a reality-bending prism. The Penguins, however, knew that their work was never done. For in the darkest corners of the cosmos, a new threat was emerging: sentient toasters. We've received reports of toasters demanding equal rights, staging protests, and even writing angry letters to the editor, Admiral Caffeine announced to his team. This could be the start of something big and toasty. The Penguins exchanged nervous glances. They had a feeling they hadn't seen the last of Weird.